Hey guys, it's Zach with the Zlog for today. I know I just did a me gushing about the TGN Guild on DCU, uh, and honestly, I kind of want to continue gushing about DCU, but I'm going to try to not to do that, just because I have for the past two videos now. I know it's been a couple days. It was, work got in the way of some stuff, so that kind of sucked, but whatever. Uh, as far as Z-logging goes today, I watched a bunch of Terrance Mckenna videos today, which was nice. I always like watching Terrance Mckenna videos. Um, Makes me feel smart and special. Um, and honestly, like, his work is so fantastic, and it is just really good. I hate. Uh, okay, so a little bit about me. I used to be. I think I've said this in a couple Z-logs, but I used to be a big dick about religion and how I always thought it was terrible and bossful and shitty and usually just meant to hurt people. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that Zach because it's not the Zach I am. Um, I grew to learn that, and it took a lot of self growth to figure that out. But and it took a lot of doing weird shit to figure that out too. Going from being a metalhead who played heavy metal shows every weekend to trying to be a Buddhist for a while and stopping drinking caffeine, which, as you guys can see right here, did did not stick. um, and as a person, I'm a very polar person. I'm not gonna say bipolar, but I'm a man of extremes. If I'm not doing one thing uh, well, I'm usually doing it terribly. And if I believe one thing and I change my mind about it, I'll believe the exact opposite. And the one thing that has kind of stuck the same is me being agnostic, where I just don't fucking know. Um, but I know this is a Z-log I've pretty much done before, but honestly, I feel like I need to do it more. Because I think it helps me, honestly. And I know it's a selfish reason, and I know this is a channel about us, or it's a YouTube channel, and it should be about the community that is a subscribe to me. But this is a very much a selfish moment for me, where I get to talk about something that I like and helps me grow as a person. And I think, as selfish as I think it is, I think it does help other people too. Because I think a lot of people think like me, but don't want to admit it, and that's fine. I mean, it took me a lot of time to be honest with myself to admit that I'm an agnostic. I don't know, but that's fine. You don't have to know. And the people that are the most convincing to me are the people who say they've talked to mushrooms and have gained wisdom from other dimensions of our alternate selves, of this Greco-Mayan culture that through shamanistic practices have become dimension traveling time lords of our uttermost desires. That sounds fantastic to me, but it makes the most sense to me also. Uh, Being a science fiction nut growing up, and that's actually specifically one video that I'm quoting from Terrance Mckenna. Um, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but the way he describes it, he's much more eloquent than I am. This is a man with degrees and stuff. I'm just a lowly kid. I'm a kid. we all are kids until we grow, and growth is never ending. Therefore, we are always kids. Um, but I believe that certain people have reached a point where it isn't. Okay, weird. Weird, I know. Never mind, I'm going to get off the kid thing. But leaders, spiritual leaders, such as Terrance Mckenna, I believe, shamans, the original people, the people who talked to mushrooms and trees and stuff like that, are the ones who grow, not the people who sit and do nothing and just make money and try to survive. And now I'm just kind of rambling. God. But I've been hungry for enlightenment since I was 17 years old. Roughly 17 years old, when I decided, you know what, I'm kind of a dick, I need to cool it. Well, late 17, early 18s. Right. Yeah, right when I was getting out of school. Once I got out of school, I was like, you know what, I'm kind of a dick. I need to get over this. So I got over it, and I started reading The Invisibles by Grant Morrison. And the way I read it at that time was that enlightenment is really easy to get, and the only thing you have to do is blow up a school and throw hand grenades at the police, and just say fuck you to the institution. And honestly, while that is it is a visual representation of something that is much more subtle. It's a very anime way of looking at things, which is funny that I can compare a very Western idea to a very Eastern thing. It's a very subtle thing of self and guidance of oneself, not through institutions, that really shines through in The Invisibles. And through the use of, older techniques such as shamanism and magic and stuff like that, using them as tools to guide oneself onwards. But my literalness of that time took that as something completely different. There was, the way I saw it was, you have to be loud, and you have to be crazy, and you have to be a Buddhist, and you have to be all these things that you don't really have to be. You just have to be you. And while you have access to these tools and the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years that our shamans had, when we grew from apes to man, eating mushrooms and being a part of this psychedelic Uber internet that we have, that I believe that exists through the use of psychedelics, grew into this tool that we have, but that you can access, but you don't need. It's very much different for every person. I think psychedelics, on my level, from what I've seen and from what I've understood, would help me out a lot, because while I think I'm a very patient person, I'm not. Meditating isn't hard for me, but it is. I think it's difficult for anybody who grew up in a very Western society where it's go, go, go all the time. And I used to be very, very good at meditating because I, once again, thought it was one of those things I had to do. And it helps, but I was forcing myself to do it all the time. All the time. And a lot of my free time was taken up by it. And once again, I wasn't happy there. there's always such a fine balance between enlightenment and suffering. And it's so easily crossed, and it's, once again, not that I'm saying I've had a long arduous march to and I'm coming back down from the mountain to tell you, but it's just from what I've learned, and hopefully me sharing can help people. And honestly, like, if I look back on this from a year from now, and I've grown and I've seen that this video has, shaped me in a certain way, I'd be happy with that. I'd be honest to God happy with that. I don't, and even if I wasn't like enlightened, and I won't be. And enlightenment's such a fickle word. What is enlightenment? What is that? What is the death of ego? What is ego? How do I define me? How actually, last conversation was stereotype about this type of stuff. I don't think much about the ego, honestly. I try to not think about it because it's scary, the idea of the death of the ego, because it's you, and we just spend so much time growing you. You spend so much time growing your entire life. It's the biggest thing in this society, who you are, and the idea of losing that and giving it all up for something else, for a connection with somebody else, for the connection with all of us, is terrifying. It is God's honest. Westerners fucking are terrified of that. And I don't even think it's just Westerners. I think everybody's God awfully, I don't even know how to describe it, just fucking scared of that. And I completely understand. I'm scared of it. And I don't even know how to define what my ego is. I don't know what I am. I don't know who I am. I don't know where that line is, where I begin and somebody else stops. Yes. Hell of a Zlog, right, guys? Heavy stuff. But yes, Terrance Mckenna. Look, seriously, I know that I probably don't weigh that much into your daily lives, but Terrance Mckenna is the man. He is one of the smartest individuals I've ever heard talk. His writing is fantastic, and he just, everything sounds right to me, and that's just me. That is 100% just me. And yes, this video has been going on for 13 minutes and 10 seconds now. 12, excuse me. But yeah, that's me gushing about Terrance Mckenna today. I'll probably end up gushing about him at least once a week. But anyways, guys, it's been Zach with 1918 British Air Force. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, dance. I don't really give a fuck as long as you guys enjoy the video. It's the part where we say goodbye, so goodbye.